Inspiration. Hello, Lee Kemp here for another week on the podcast. Ryan Boniface, unfortunately, is not with us. He's off doing worky things somewhere. Jose Noya is with us. How are you, Jose?
Yeah, really good. I'm very good, Lee. How are you doing,
I'm
my
good. I'm good.
friend?
I'm just joining you on TikTok, which everyone listening should do. Jose Noya Inspiration.
Oh,
Put his name into your Google machine. You can follow. You're told when we're going live. YouTube and TikTok every week. You can join us.
I love that. I'm saying hi to people. You are the only one who's staying right now.
Oh,
So we'll just see. Well,
maybe I
no,
should
someone else.
leave.
There's someone
Maybe I
else.
should leave.
Don't
We
leave because
always
you've got to
get
get at least one,
we always
one
get a good
audience. Oh,
few
someone's liking
questions
it.
every week. See, that's not me liking it.
Did you? It's you. You just like it. Was that you?
No, I didn't touch it.
Oh, thank you. I like that. Thank you. You had a like there. Thank you.
See, questions and
Who's like?
comments will flow through as normal, I'm sure. Right, Jose, we didn't talk about this, but
No, it's
we
your
always
turn,
say who's
isn't it?
got a subject. Is it my turn?
You're prepped. I know you are.
Oh man, Ryan has got a great idea. I don't know if he told us on our little WhatsApp group or he just said he's got an idea, but I had a conversation about it and I'm really looking forward to it. Which obviously waits until he gets
Ooh.
back, but he's got a really good one. But I will
Oh, I
fill in
can't
for
wait.
now. I have lent to my friend ChatGPT for some conversation off the back of the last conversation he did for us. So this week, ChatGPT is wanting to keep on personal growth, but give a different angle to this and talk about
Hmm.
decision making and regret. Like
Ooh,
my
okay.
decision to do a podcast with you that I now regret. Um,
Forever until you die.
but
Until I die. Yeah, go on.
well, obviously it'll be till you die, Joe. Then I can
Yeah,
do
of
this for
course, I'm
like
the
another
oldest.
50 years afterwards.
Oh, yeah, it's 120, right?
That's it,
Yeah, I
120.
forgot.
Um, we've got a quote, and it's obviously picked up on previous one. So this is another Lewis Carroll quote, actually, which you'll probably like because you bought us one of those a
Lewis
few weeks
Carroll.
ago, I think. Didn't you
Lewis
bring it?
Carroll. You say,
Yes.
yes, Lewis, I did, but
Oh, you did. Well, I'm not getting those mixed up. Honestly, what an idiot. Lewis Carroll, I've got for you, who is not
that's okay.
C.S. Lewis, but has Lewis and a surname that starts with C. So clearly, you can see where I got confused.
Of course, I would do the same, actually,
I'm
to
a
be
bit
fair.
sleepy and I'm coming off a cold. We'll blame it on that. So
Oh,
we've got a quote anyway from Lewis Carroll, and it says, "In the end, we only regret the chances we didn't take. In the end, we only regret the chances we didn't take."
okay.
And really, so people regret comes from we talked about this a lot, and a lot of where we talk about regret comes from people thinking, "Oh, this is a mistake I made. I really regret that." But actually, the later in life thing, the deathbed, a lot of those regrets aren't the things that you made a mistake with. It's the things you actually didn't do or you never tried. Um, which is, I really like the mentality. It's what you've got to do. You've got to, that fear of putting yourself out there. I've talked about it before, haven't I? Where I've had that. I think there was a gig I went to where I could have gone out with the band afterwards, and I was like, "Nah, I'm
Mm,
just going." And I look back now, and I've got no idea why I did that, and didn't just dive in and take that chance. And the same that I've talked about when I was younger, all these crazy little business ideas I'd have here and there. And I look back now at what I did, and I did loads of time and effort prepping things, getting them setting up, having a product, a service, whatever it is. And then the hardest bit is in marketing, whatever that looks like. And I'd normally take that first step, get no traction, which is exactly what always happens, and give up. And I look
mm,
back on all of those now, and I'm like, if I'd have just tried a little bit, put a bit more effort in, because all it was time and effort. There was nothing else to it, but I just gave up at that first hurdle, and that is, not saying any of these things would have suddenly made me into a millionaire or gone anywhere, but I could have put them in a box knowing I gave them my best shot. And I do think I put myself out there a bit, but then I almost bottled it when it got to the main event. And I think that's where a lot of that regret's probably a strong word, because I don't think any of them were, Dragon's Den things that were going to turn me into a superstar. But I do wish I'd given a bit more effort on them. And they're all things where the time's passed for them now as well. So that's probably actually a good thing in reality, really, isn't it?
you never know. That could have evolved into
You don't.
something, couldn't it?
It's
Get something.
learning I've
It
taken that
evolves,
I
doesn't it? It
push.
evolves. Who knows? Yeah, it's a sliding doors thing, isn't it?
And I've taken it now where I've got, ideas that I'm doing in workplace or projects I want to do or things I want to try. There's a lot more of that, right? Push through that initial um, cold feet position and go for it.
Mm.
So that's a bit on that level of regret from my observations. Jose, what do you think on the quote?
Well, because I remember you talking about, and I'm going back to you because I remember you saying about when you were about 18 or 16 or 17, you were really young. You worked for a hotel, and I think
That was it.
you
That
were
was the
talking
first
about
one.
in a
Yes.
podcast, right? But it got traction, and then you sort of pulled back. 'Cause you were meant to have some meetings or something, I think, if I remember from memory, but you didn't go to the meetings or something
Yeah.
because you got cold feet. And I think that's what I remember. Am I accurate about what
You
I
are
remember?
very. That's very well remembered. That is spot on accuracy.
Yeah, and I was just wondering, I was just curious about what made you pull back. Could you go back into that time and think, what actually made you
It was
not go to those
probably
meetings?
confidence. I'd say, looking back, it was
Mm.
probably at that age. The idea put out there did get some, great
Yeah, good, wasn't it? You
responses.
said.
Um, Yeah, and I think it was just a confidence thing. I think I just made excuses in my head to not take that next step and put myself out. Which in reality, I was young. I had no experience with it. I probably wasn't ready for that. But you got to put yourself out there, haven't you? But yeah, I think I just when it became real, I was like, oh, I'll back off a little bit from this
Mm.
now.
I find that a lot though with people. As soon as they get that bit of traction, in fact, the music, got a friend of Meg's and they went through a phase where they got traction. I don't know if they'll probably listen to this. If you are listening to this, I'm not going to mention your name because I think it's a really powerful story. But they put something up on Spotify, it started getting traction. Guess what they did? They pulled it down. They pulled the song down because they started getting traction. It was almost like that, the cliff, it's about to jump and you're just about to think you're going to jump and you get a bit scared and you pull
Yeah,
back. And I have this, and I've experienced it the same when I was very, very young. I think for me, it was the football. It was, I wouldn't say like I'm mind blowing, but I was quick down the left and so I can't play for the higher level team. And then I had a friend of mine I said to you before who'd bring me down and said, you're not good enough, like that sort of stuff. But I wish I'd given it a go just to have tried it because I think for me, it's interesting. I was talking about it today that when I went through school, everyone used to point out, oh, you're doing these things, you're doing that wrong. So is that the way I framed failure was it's bad. That failure is bad, but actually
yeah,
failure is a step. And I was just afraid to take the step because I've been almost conditioned to say that failure is bad. Don't fail. So when you get afraid of that, you just don't step, you don't take it. So I didn't then go and play for that higher team. I didn't even try. Right, I didn't even go. Like, if I'd gone and I'd failed, that'd have been okay. But I didn't
yeah,
go
yeah,
because I didn't want to fail because I'd framed it in such a way that held back. And who knows, right? I could have tried out. That could have led to something else, sliding doors again. That could have led to something. I could be in a totally different place. Though going up for the other thing, I played in a band, and so I got asked to play on a label in Brighton. I followed that through. It didn't go anywhere, but I know I followed that and I tried it and it worked and it didn't work out. But then there's another sliding doors moment where I was in a band and I wanted to continue doing the band, but my mother-in-law said to me, she's lovely, bless her soul, she's gone now, but she said to me, you want to get a proper job. And actually, that's when I went into the industry we're in now, right? But no one you know, wakes up in their bed and go, well, I think I'm going to work for this particular industry. The industry working is not, I wouldn't, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's a great thing. It's giving a good life. But what I'm saying is, it's not something I dream about. Like, I wouldn't have dreamt that. And I'm thinking now that had I pursued that dream, where could it be? Could have been total failure, could have been whatever. But I think there's those things that are in the back of your mind where you just don't try, or you're influenced by other people, get a proper job, go for safety. And at that
yeah,
age, I had no responsibilities. I didn't have a house. And if I had that thinking now, if I'd had a coach or a mentor, I said, well, just go for it, just try it and just see what happens. Just go with it, go do loads of gigs and roll with it. I was living at home. There's no pressure. But because of the failure thing at school, a certain friend maybe eroding my confidence. And then we're talking about, you know, I would say, I'm not speaking bad about them because they thought this was a good thing. They're trying to help, right? Because they want you to have a successful life. And I know the intention's good, but actually it limits potential where I didn't take that at all. I didn't play. And I was really loving playing the bass guitar. I loved it. I enjoyed it. And I didn't follow it. But looking back, that's a regret, right? In the end, we only regret the chances we didn't take, right? That's the quote. I didn't take that chance. I regret that
yeah,
because I don't know that. It may have failed. Who knows? I'll never know. But that's what I mean by this. I love this quote because a lot of us face those things. And as I've got older, Lee, and you're probably in the same boat. I mean, you're doing more things now and you're trying these things and you understand, hey, I'm not getting traction now, but it's part of the process. I just got to keep going. Who knows? That's actually the beauty of it. But you can never sort of go back and do that whole
No,
thing again.
that's the thing. That's
learn.
absolutely right. But you just take it going forward, don't you? Whenever
Yeah,
you pick up on
of
that.
course you do.
You
Yeah.
saying fail fast. I was talking to some work the other day, and they've really got into like a coaching inspirational influencer, which gives me a sidebar. So a great AI prompt for you to use in whatever your chosen service is where you have an account. Go in and ask it based on your conversation history. I'm just get wording, but basically, which celebrity you most like, or who would it liken to you as a celebrity based on your conversation history. I got Oh no, we did, because we shared some messages on this, didn't we? Because one of mine, I had a list of 3. There was the actor, but the character of Ted Lasso, and I sent you the picture of me of Ted Lasso. That's definitely. Oh no, I sent it to someone else. I need to send it to you. So Ted Lasso was one of mine. Idris
That's
Elba,
awesome.
who I am nowhere near cool enough to be Idris Elba, so I don't know where that's come from in any way.
Oh,
And number 1 on the list was Simon Sinek.
that's awesome.
And I loved that. And I was talking to this person at work, and I said, I've really got into this guy. You should follow him if you don't. Simon Sinek's your name. And I said, it's funny you should say that, because according to my chat history, that's who I most like. But the quote he's taken from Simon, which is where I was getting to, but I wanted to throw in, I'd stick it in a WhatsApp, and everyone out there, give that a go, and you'll say, AI, which celebrity you most like. It's great. The more you talk to it, the more insights you can get on your own personality. It's fantastic. And say Simon Sinek was mine, and I pushed it a bit, and that's where I got the Idris Elba, and then I think Harvey Specter from Suits as a character, and the Ted Lasso as well. So I like all of those. I'm quite happy with that. Those 4 that it's given me as an outcome.
I'm really curious. I'm really curious about that. I'm going to just quickly sidebar on that. When you ask, is it ChatGPT you used?
Yes.
So does it go across all your chats? I didn't know it could go across all your chats, because every time I start a chat, it seems to go. Oh, I don't remember that, because
have you got a free account or a paid account?
I've got a free one. That's why.
If you've got a paid account, it builds up a whole memory of you and everything. So that'll be the same on any service you use. So anyone who's got an account anywhere,
get a paid one.
If you've got Twitter, you might get a bit more of that in Grok, for example. And I'll share a bit more details on it. But the quote he's referencing is, you don't fail fast, you fall fast. Because you don't necessarily fail, but you fall, you learn, you pick yourself up. And he's really embracing that. And he's talking about, doing innovation at work, but it's what you're saying, and you apply it anywhere, is you can't have that fear of failure. You've got to try things, and I say it either works or you fall and pick yourself up. Almost inevitably you fall and pick yourself up, and very few things just work first time, or you don't hit. And it's not always a binary good or bad. It could be, well, that was 30% good, but how do we get to 50% good? Whatever it is, you keep continuously learning. The other thing, and I've got this in my prompts about conversation points from the GPT conversation, as well as, why people avoid decisions, all this stuff we're talking about with, fear of losing what you've got, fear of failure, fear of looking stupid, all those, is the myth of the perfect choice. It's not quite the right time, or it's not quite the right decision, or I think I've nearly got it, but I'm not quite there. I need to have another look at it again. That perfect moment, perfect outcome, perfect choice, perfect product, whatever, it doesn't exist. And it says here, most decisions only become good after you commit to them. You've got to go with it. You've got to give it a go. And I think that perfect outcome, perfect choice. Let's say it's don't get perfect. Don't let perfect get in the way of good. And I wholeheartedly believe that.
Yeah, I agree with you. And going off the back of that, it's that analysis paralysis piece, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Sometimes you can just literally overthink it, because let's be honest, you want to try something new, whether it's a business, whatever the idea is, but you'll never have enough data to go, it's going to make the perfect move. It's just got to make a move sometimes. And you've got to trust the process of just learn and fail and learn.
When I do my little DIY projects, when I'm about to do something new that I've not done, so I've got an idea, right? I'm onto a new thing. I'm putting up this post in a different way, or I've got to cut this back, or I've got to use a tool I've not used before. There's an extra 10-15 minutes of procrastinating because I've not done it before I just get in the zone and do it, and it's good. And it's definitely that feeling, like you said, of that uncertainty, to use some actual correct English, of something new. So yeah, I definitely, that's a micro way that I feel it, but I'm very consciously aware of that when I do it.
Oh, I'm
Doesn't
so
stop
with
me
you, Lee.
doing it.
No, and that used to stop me though. I used to overthink so much I wouldn't do anything because you're overthinking it or you want the perfect outcome. And it's just not going to happen. And we're not going to have all the data. You just aren't. And there's people who talk about it all the time. If you look at some of the influencers, good influencers I'm talking about, they'll talk about that. You've got to jump in at some point. You can't just stay on the sidelines. You've got to just jump in and frame failure as learning. That's how I did it. You don't have to do the same as me, of course. You can frame it whatever you want, but if you just is the way you reframe failing. To coin one of Lee's passions, being NLP, it's exactly what you have to do, because otherwise you just won't do anything, and then you don't want to look back at your life. And I always talk to people when they talk about a decision. I said, go, fast forward to the end of your life, and would you regret not doing it? Imagine you're on your deathbed and this is a decision you have to make. Would you look back and go, oh, I wish I'd done that? Well, you need to do it. Like, you don't want to be doing that. So that's quite a good practice to go into the future. On your deathbed, if you didn't take that opportunity, would you regret it? And I love that exercise. I always encourage my children to do that. Look, go forward, and if you do, then please do it. Because at their age, they've got no mortgage or anything, and they can just take that opportunity. Now is the time when you're young and you have no responsibilities, no mortgages, you can just literally take those chances. It's just a no-brainer. But I wish I'd had that mindset. I wish I'd had that. I just didn't, because there's a lot of built-in things from school and friends and stuff. But it's why we do this podcast, right? When you think of it differently.
Well, it's interesting. Another thing it said here, and I've just got a few minutes left, so I'll whiz through. But risk. It's talked about the whole risk and comfort we've talked about before. We don't need to dive into too deep to that. But it actually references. Is there the slant on a conversation here? Is that the older we get, the more it says risk feels expensive. So do we get more risk averse as we get older? But conscious, we're an echo chamber between the two of us. But for me, it's the complete opposite. I've become far more risk taking as I've got older than when I was younger, which, like you said, ironically, is when it's a lesser time to do it, when you've got more responsibilities and stuff, but you've also got more belief in yourself, and I think you can mitigate the risks more stuff. But I'm definitely more now than I was, is that kind of confidence has grown and skill set has grown and everything. So I'm the opposite on that. Says it, so potential listener takeaways we've got is, I get 2 questions from. One is, what one small decision are you avoiding right now? Doesn't have to be something massive, can be something small. What is it, and how can you push yourself to make that? And what's the worst that could happen? What really would happen if you just said, right, I'm going to get on and do that? And it's given a closing thought here to give credit to GPT. Indecision is still a decision. It's just lets the circumstances decide for you, not you. So don't decide to be indecisive. See something, go for it or don't go for it, but make that conscious decision.
Yeah, because if you don't go for it, it's still a decision.
Yes.
If you don't do anything, it's a decision,
but make
isn't it?
Don't allow the circumstances to make that decision for you.
Like that. I really like that. It's intentional action taking, isn't it? Yeah, I really like that a lot.
So before I wrap us up, final thoughts from Mr. Jose Eduardo Guevara Noya.
Eduardo Guevara, where's that come from? Sounds like some sort of tequila.
I thought it's just your name.
I love that. Yeah, for me, it's just try that exercise. Go forward. If you regret it, do it. And as Lee said there, if you don't take any action, you are taking an action, because taking no action is still an action. So, yeah, that's mine.
Yeah. What's the worst that could happen? And if the worst thing that could happen is looking stupid, then you haven't got a problem.
Oh, do you know what? People don't care anyway. Like,
that's 100%. 100%.
People don't care. Like, if you fail, like, I lost a tennis match the other day. They go, "Oh, you lost. Okay." They move on. People go home and dwell in it. They don't care. They really don't. So just go out there.
As soon as you said tennis match, I stopped caring, Joe. So
there you go. Right? Lee don't care. Don't care. Lost a tennis match. Who cares, right? So why should you take the action, learn, move, learn and move? Learn and move. That's me. Oh, I love that. Yeah,
great stuff. Everyone out there, always thank you for supporting us, joining on TikTok, YouTube, getting involved. Again, Jose Noya-Inspiration Nation. Just stick them in your Google machine and follow and subscribe wherever you are listening. like and subscribe. Reviews really help get the algorithm up. Likes help get the algorithms up. More importantly, tell friends and family. There is every week now, multiple times this week, someone downloaded all 300 episodes in one go. So we massively appreciate in about a year when you finally get around to hearing this that you are doing that. So appreciate all the love for the archives as well as the new stuff as well. Keep telling people, it helps us grow. Again, if you are listening, whatever device it's on, just flick to that screen, just hit that review button if we deserve it, obviously. Someone I heard once said, if you like what we're doing, tell a friend. If you don't like what we're doing, tell an enemy. Just tell people what we're doing.
I like that. Love that twist. It's really good. Yeah, it's just interesting actually on TikTok. We've got to go now, anyway. We've got to go.
We've got to
Is it
go.
time?
We've got to go. Give us a quick interest,
All right,
and then
fair
I'll count us down when you finish.
No, what it was on TikTok is TikTok started doing AI summaries. Got here debating if the perfect time to launch is real. What's your take on risk?
Oh,
TikTok's using AI. Have you seen that?
I've not. I love it.
Like,
it's everywhere.
it's-
everywhere you
Yeah.
look.
Yep.
And on
Go
that
on,
note,
wraps up.
3, 2, 1. Inspiration Nation.
Inspiration Nation.
Catch you guys
later. Leslie, we got a message.